Morning everyone, Dave Knight from Do3 for another live video analysis. If you guys are watching, then if you can just pop up, make a comment on the screen, it'll come through to me this end. It's always nice to know if anyone's actually out there or not. Right, so today we have Lisa Parry. So just going to get this fired up and get my screen organised so we can go through this. As always, just so as you know, for anyone that hasn't been watching this in the past, these are meant to be quick fire swim analysis. We did originally plan to do these in 5 minutes, but it very often runs quite a long way over that because we were finding we couldn't quite get the quality in that we wanted to. So it is quick. We do pick on one, maybe two of the biggest issues that we see, and it's not a full video swim analysis by any stretch of imagination. If you do want a full video swim analysis, then they are bookable via the do3.co.uk app, and they are 75-minute sessions where we film you from all different angles, and then we do a full analysis with the swimmer poolside before going back in for some correction work. So that's what happens in those full sessions. But today, this is a quickie, just have a look and give some feedback on Lisa. So Lisa, if you're there, got Tracy Ann watching. Hi Tracy Ann, hope you find this useful. As always, if any of you guys are watching and have any comments, or maybe you could give us an idea about what you think it is that Lisa needs to work on. It's always kind of good to get your feedback on what you think, and we can maybe have a discussion about that. Right, so without further ado, I think we'll dive into this and see what we've got. I think it's going to turn the music down actually, it's a little bit loud, isn't it? Right, so, and we'll dip onto the iPad, and here we go. So, I haven't really looked at this in any detail, but just to give you a bit of background, Lisa is a swimmer who's swum with us for quite a while in the squad. Very experienced swimmer, has been swimming with us. Well, she's got a black cap, which means she's done over 500 sessions in our swim squads, so very experienced swimmer. So I do know Lisa's stroke pretty well. So let's see what we've got. So the first time I'm just going to go a quick run through just to see what footage we've got, and then we'll talk about what it is that we think Lisa can improve upon. Oh, we got a comment from James. James, I'm going to highlight you here. There you go, Lisa. Needs to work on our CSS test attendance. Rather you said that than me, James. Let's leave that there. I'm sure Lisa will be along to comment in a second. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we've got. So normal start poolside view. Let's turn the iPad sound off, shall we? Let's mute that. Poolside view. As you can see there, Lisa has got a nice stroke, nice and rhythmical. Let's just see where she goes here. I think I'm walking around the other side of all the clutter that's on the side of the pool there. There's Sarah Jane going past, and we'll have a look at Lisa from the forward on view here. Okay, so we can see some bits and bobs there, which we'll talk about in a second. So again, if you got any comments about Lisa's stroke, it'd be interesting to see what you think. Nice big droplet of water on the camera there. Let's whiz that forward to see if we can get rid of that. So here we go, underneath the water again, this time from Lisa's right hand side. Okay, all right, so quick summary of the clip then. We're going to take Lisa right the way back to the start and talk through what we've got. So effectively what I do during these sessions is just effectively say what I see. All right, so from this side we're looking at this kind of classic coach's view. So from the side of the pool, nice head position from Lisa there. Swinging over the top with the left hand, spearing in quite nicely. Decent depth with the hand there. Turning to breathe the right hand side. And as you can see, Lisa's got a nice head position there. Keeping her head down nice and fairly low. Big open mouth there, gasping in some air there. And on the right hand side, spearing in again. So Lisa swims around about 6 minutes of 400, so she's got a decent pace during this 400 metre testing sessions that we do. And let's see what else we've got. So not a huge amount else to report on. It's all looking nice from this side. So we do see Lisa quite a bit, and I know she can swim well. So let's wait until we dip underneath the water and see what we've got. Let's whiz it through forward here. Now, The first thing that that really kind of springs out to me here, and again, this seems to be happening with the bulk of the swimmers that we're doing on these analysis sessions, is a really wide pull through there on the hand. So what happens there, the picture's actually not that great there, is it? But what we're actually looking at is the angle that Lisa has in her arm here at this point of the catch is actually really quite wide. What this does is it puts a lot of pressure. So if that's the arm and this is the shoulder here, you pull through with a straight arm, it puts a lot of pressure on the shoulder joint up here. So you can potentially end up with one or two injuries or issues, or at least fatigue in the shoulder, where Lisa should really be pulling through from, or the angle in the arm I should say, is have that hand much further, much more in line, oops, there we go, down here, in line with the shoulder there, so that she's pulling through with the hand directly between this, below the shoulder. That'll make it much better for the, it'll be using the muscles in the chest and in the back rather than in the shoulder there. All right, so again, this is similar to what seems to be coming up quite a lot on these video swim sessions. All right, so that's on the right hand side. Let's have a look on the left hand side as she spears in. We've got a little bit, as you can see here, a little bit of a push down there. It's not too bad. So Lisa's hand, obviously the camera's in front of Lisa, and actually can actually see Lisa's hand. So she's pushing the hand kind of forwards a little bit. I'm exaggerating there, but pushing the hand forwards a little bit rather than spearing in. So the hand should be facing down ideally, because if the hand is your paddle, you don't want to be pushing that paddle forwards for obvious reasons. It's putting the brakes on. So the hand should be spearing in a little bit deeper, so you can't actually see the palm of the hand from the front. In fact, Lisa's hand is slightly turned out there, as you can see. So just needs to make sure that she spears in a little bit more deeply. Quite a good way of doing that is getting some paddles on and just potentially we have some the freestyler paddles, which are the pointy ones with the keel on. It'll just make sure Lisa spears in nice and cleanly at the front, nice and straight, and can actually get over the top of that, over the top of the hand there. So just carry on playing it through. Again, left hand side, so the right hand side, we can see this nice, well not sorry, we can see we can see the long straight arm on the right hand side sweeping out really wide, and again that hand should be in line with the chest. And then again on the left hand side, there's the hand kind of almost come in a little bit over rotated, a little bit thumb first, and then she has a little sweep out. So the hand kind of, see, the best way of me drawing this is the hand kind of comes in this direction, and we've got a flat hand, and then it kind of pushes out wide, so it takes a big detour over here. Then it's exaggerated actually by the perspective on the camera, so but you can see the hand pulls down wide and pulls out really wide on that hand, and then pulls it back in as she gets towards her kind of between her chest and her hips there, and then pushes back. So yeah, it's similar to what we're seeing with a lot of swimmers. Let's just carry on playing this through and see if there's anything else that we can see. So Lisa's looking a long way forward in the water here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for Lisa. We kind of recommend that people experiment with head position. Some people need to look a bit further forward to get the most out of their strokes. Some people look straight down and kind of various places in between as well. So there isn't particularly a right or wrong place for you to look in the water. What the best position for your head to be in is the one that gives you the best body position effectively. And say some people that's looking forward, some people that's looking down, and it's something you need to experiment with. So Lisa's looking a long way forwards, not causing her a huge amount of problem. We'll have a look at kind of a bit of a side-on view and see if there's anything else there. Normally, or very often with some swimmers, as you can see, Lisa's looking right down the pool here. What that can sometimes do, and it may be a little bit for Lisa, is that it actually kind of, it presents like the chest, the lower neck and the chest of the oncoming water. So maybe if she did experiment with looking a little bit further down in, a little bit further down in the water, it would just kind of close that where the chest comes up at the front, and also potentially just get Lisa's bum up a little bit close to the surface. Not too bad. Lisa's generally got a good body position in the water. Just see as she goes past here. So there's not a huge amount to improve there, but you know, even just that little gap, we're talking about marginal gains here. If we can get her bum a little bit closer to the surface, that would actually present a little bit less water, sorry, surface area to the oncoming water here. All right, so hope that makes sense. So maybe let's look a little bit further down, Lisa. But I think the biggest thing for you really, well, there's a few things we'll talk about. The biggest thing for you is getting that catch where you are extending forward in front of the shoulders, and so the hands are coming over, you're grabbing hold of the water in front of the shoulder, good positive catch, and then pushing straight down and try and get that vertical forearm, which you can then push back with. All right, so that's what you need to do on both sides. You've been through the drills before in the squad, and we're talking about drills in terms of sculling and the doggy paddle drill, where you're constantly working on this push forward and then catch over the front of the stroke. Very often just having an awareness that this is an issue can be enough for some people, because they can actually just kind of start to tune in to what's happening at the front of the stroke, get the heads up and actually have a look at what the hands are doing underneath the water. One other thing you can do is swim along directly over the black line and just have a look at those hands and make sure those hands are pulling either side of the black line. They're not out wide as they are in Lisa's stroke. And just make sure that you're getting hold of that water. That's your traction. That's your kind of, always think of it like the grip on a tyre. You want to make sure that you're reaching forward, you're getting grip. It's like a car on a road, you're getting hold of the ground, or where the tyre would grip the road. And then we're keeping hold of that grip, i.e. keeping hold of that still dead bit of water that you've just held at the front of the stroke, and then pushing it directly back behind you. As soon as anything kind of slides out, you're losing grip. You're kind of effectively wheel spinning, if you like, and losing control of that water that you're trying to hold. Hope that makes sense. So head position down a little bit. Yeah, improve the arm position at the beginning of the catch. You can see it's nice and, or I keep on saying nice, it's wide at the pull through there. Not a huge amount else I would pick up on that. See, the depth that Lisa spears into there is actually quite nice, but it's just at that point I'd like to think that the forearm is just a little bit further down, and then as she progresses through the stroke, see if I can wind this through slowly, as she progresses through the stroke, see, rather than just pushing down that way, what would happen with that forearm would go down that kind of angle instead. Because it's not until she gets right back level with the chest that she's actually pushing back with the hand and the forearm and the upper arm. Again, I do bring this clip out quite a lot. If I show you Rebecca Adlington, only because, well, she's a very good swimmer, obviously, but lots of clips in there. It's a really clear visual representation of what it is that you need to be doing. Let's just see if I can find Rebecca Adlington in here. She'll be in here somewhere. There she is, right at the bottom. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to whiz this forward to the bit that I'm talking about. So this is what I'm talking about with Lisa. In fact, I'll just take it back. Here we go. So this is what I'm talking about with Lisa here. So spearing in forwards. This is the kind of hand position she's starting off in with her catch there. But keeping that elbow high. And the forearm, there's kind of like a big bend in the forearm there. Sorry, at the elbow there. And then pushing back. So it's this, there's a definite kind of change at the front of the stroke. So not pulling through straight, you end up with this angle here, and this, I don't know, kind of just almost describe it as a break at the elbow, and then pushing back with the forearm at that point. So putting more traction, more grip on the tyres, if you like, and then pushing back all the way back through the stroke. Okay, so that's what we recommend for Lisa. So hope you found that useful, Lisa. If you got any questions or anything, then obviously get in touch, give us a shout. And the other thing I was going to speak to you about is training. So obviously swim with the squad, but I think it's really a case of probably doing a little bit of the things that you don't like to do, like the speed work and the power work, paddles, that kind of thing, because sometimes your stroke can look a little bit I don't know. It looks like you go through the motions a little bit sometimes. So actually get some kind of some power and some oomph in the stroke. I hope you know what I mean by that. It's kind of when you swim with paddles on, you're really getting a good grip of the stroke, and you're doing 25s, maybe 50s, really going for it, getting the stroke rate high, but with a good quality catch at the front of the stroke. Otherwise, it can it looks like this. You're swimming kind of 7 out of 10 all the time. I know you're not. You probably tell me off for saying that. I know you're not swimming like that all the time. But you just need to spend some time. It's a bit like when you're a runner. You need to do some speed work. You need to do some sprints, do some hills, do some power work, and build that more into the training. And that speed will carry over into the rest of your swimming. And believe in yourself that you can improve your swimming. You absolutely can improve your swimming if you do those things. All right. So I hope you found that useful, Lisa, and we'll catch up with you next time. And I hope everyone else has found that useful, and we'll catch up with you. We're away next week, but in fact we're away for 2 weeks, and we'll see you in a few weeks' time. Take care. Bye bye.